Hi, you're listening to Bridle Ride on Air. I'm Caitlin, and welcome to your go-to horse lovers podcast. In this episode, I'd like to introduce myself, tell you who Bridle Ride is, what we do, and how we can help you. Hi, my name's Caitlin. I'm the leading lady of Bridle Ride, and I'm going to introduce myself a little bit. So I was born in Belgium, and we lived in Belgium until I was about 5 years old. Then we moved to the UK, where I grew up until I was about 15 years old, I think. 14, 15 years old. And then we moved back to Belgium. This was because of my parents' business that they were doing at the time. Which means that I do speak English, and I have learnt to speak Dutch as well. I speak a little French, but it's not too good, so I'm not going to do any podcasts in French or people are just going to laugh at me. So what can I tell you? I've always been a horse lover. We've had horses and ponies since I was a little girl when I grew up in England. We had loads of fun hacking out, going on hunts, things like that. And I lost my heart to eventing, to be honest. It was the first thing that I really loved doing. It was just the combination of dressage and jumping and then doing the courses. It was just, the greatest feeling I can tell anyone about. Unfortunately, as life went by, I had a few accidents. Then I had 2 children as well. We moved to Belgium, meaning it was a lot more difficult to find places to train the horses. Especially for eventing, because Belgium's not really that well equipped for eventing riders, to be honest. And then I started doing dressage. So, in a nutshell, I'm just a horse-mad person that's always had horses in her life and loves them to bits and wouldn't want to live without them. I have done certain studies. I've gone to different countries to be taught different abilities and techniques and specializations. I don't really like to make lists of what I can do and what I know, but to give you a general idea of where I'm coming from and what my background is, I'm specialized in ergonomics and anatomic material. This means especially relating to bridles and other reins and aids. I am a bridle fitter. I am also a schooled certified bit fitter. I am a connection specialist, which sounds very airy-fairy, but it's not at all, because it's all connected through the body. I'm an analyst of biomechanics and contact. I am the head of education at Bridle Ride, because we do give courses, the EBBF course, for people that want to learn to be an EBBF, which means Elite Bridle and Bit Fitter. And the last course I did, I followed a sensor analyst course. So I'm also certified as an analyst for working with sensors, meaning that I can take measurements and tell you how you're riding, what you're doing, how you're using your aids, how it's affecting your horse, or the other way around, how your horse is reacting, etc. So I hope that part of it is already quite interesting for you to know where I'm coming from. And now I can talk a little bit about Bridle Ride. So Bridle Ride is my little cherub. It's something, a little, a brain fart of mine that I started with like 5 years ago, something like that. We came up with the idea. I say we because I was brainstorming with my best friend, Christy, that will also be doing a podcast with me later on. She's also horse mad like I am. We've known each other for a long time now. Get on, like a house on fire. And I called her one day and I said, listen, I've been looking up loads of interesting facts and information about so-and-so, and I've been noticing problems with my horse and I can't find any help anywhere. And I'm going to take this course. I'm going to follow the education and learn it for myself, because it's the only way I can find to help my own horse and to solve the problems that I'm having. And she said, oh, you're crazy. No one's doing that. And I said, well, that's good then. If no one's doing it, then I'll be the first one to help. And we kind of, started talking about it a lot. She helped me start it up in the begin phase, because in the beginning we were very, very small. We didn't have much in our range. We didn't have many services yet at the time, because I was still, taking courses, studying, and getting to know how to work with horses and with the equipment, etc. But after, I think, about a year and a half, I decided to, go for it, start Bridle and Ride. And she did help me in the beginning, especially with visiting clients, taking measurements for bridles, etc., or doing deliveries for me. Now, she's very busy as well, and I'm very busy as well. We have like a packed lifestyle. But because we're both very passionate about horses, we just kept on doing it. Me especially in the beginning, because she didn't have as much time. And then because we were meeting people, riders and horses, that needed help in other areas that we're not specialized in ourselves, we started contacting other professionals specialized in other areas. Because we do love working in tandem. We've noticed that certain problems that horses and riders have can't be solved just by changing a bridle or a bit, or by analyzing how they're riding and giving them tips on how to change the training or how to change the way the horses move. So sometimes we have to get help from other people. Having said that, we contacted a few people that we know in our circle, and we decided to, sit together, talk about the vision that we have, the way that we want to move in, and if they were interested in working together. You will get an opportunity to meet our team members in later podcasts, but I won't go into detail right now. I would like to tell you a little more about the services that Bridle and Ride offer, because not everyone knows what we do and what we can help you with. I do have to state that most of our services that we offer are readily available in Belgium on a regular basis. If you're living in the UK, then we ask for you to try and get some people together, a little group of people that want us to come along, because otherwise the transport costs are just going to be far too high. But we are going to try to visit the UK 2 times per year if possible. The first service that I'm going to speak about is the general checkup. This is meant for people who are curious to hear or to see if the bridle they're using is comfortable for the horse and is the right size. We check up to 3 different bridles per horse to see if the model that they're using is correct, if it's causing pressure somewhere, if it's causing discomfort, and how it can be changed if it's necessary. If the bridle that you're using isn't the best suited for your horse, then we can advise as well on a custom-made bridle for your horse. The second service that we offer is bit fitting. This can be bit fitting for a snaffle or for a double. That means a Bradoon and a Weymouth bridle. There is, however, also the possibility to combine it with a bitless noseband or another type of bitless bridle, because we do have certain clients that like to be able to change from bitless to bit bridles and the other way around as well, or to ride in a combination. The third service we offer is test rides. What do I mean with test rides? Well, we have a very large range of specialized products that are anatomically or ergonomically made for horses, and not every horse reacts in the same way to certain products. So sometimes I do understand that riders want to ride with them first to see how the horse reacts, because it does cost a lot of money, and you want to be sure before you spend the money that your horse is going to appreciate the cash that you're putting down for it. And of course we all want our horses happy, but at the same time you want to keep it safe for us as well. So we do offer the possibility to test ride with certain products, and that way we can also advise if a certain item isn't the right one for your horse, which way you should go. Now, last but not least, the fourth service that we offer is analytics. This means that with sensors we do test your contact and your connection when you're riding. Now, it's not just to see how much pressure you're using, but it's also to see at which moment in time when you're riding your horse gets tenser or the rider takes too much weight on the reins. It also helps define if you're using more strength on one side or the other, or your horse is stronger on one side or the other. I know that most good riders can feel this, and it's not because you want just to test that. It's because with analytics we can really find out for you at what moment in time he's doing it and how you can solve the problem. It's not always the rider's fault, and it's not always the horse's fault. Most of the time it's a little bit of both. With this analytic service, we begin with the complete analysis of the horse when you're riding and training your horse. After we've done that, we do offer a follow-up and check-up of your progress to see how you're doing with the tips and the information that we've given you. And of course, you can always ask for analytic supervision together with your trainer, because we are no trainers and we don't want to teach you how to ride. We just want to advise, give you tips, and let you know what you're doing at which moment to make you an even better rider. Those were the 4 key elements of our services. I hope they interest you a little bit, because in other podcasts we will be going more into detail to tell you more how we work, what we do, and how we can help your horse. Thank you for listening to Bridle and Ride on air. I hope you enjoyed it. Follow our podcasts, write a little comment, or share it for your friends. If you have any suggestions, just send us an email at info@bridleandride.com. My name's Caitlin, and there's more to come soon.